What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today, did you hear the bell? That means it's another day in the Market Watch. So we're going to be covering cards that are going up crazily because of future support that has not, to be honest with you, isn't even ready or even fully fleshed out to justify these buyouts. But also, we're going to be talking about future cards that are kind of cheap right now that doesn't make sense for them to be this extremely cheap. So without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it. So first off, we have Draman from X Record pre-release cards. So this card has shot up to $5, and this is just because of the undead and dark animal traits that it is seeing for, which is support that it's getting in the new Logomon. If I remember correctly, it's the new Seeker's Tamer plus Digimon. So it's good to keep this in mind, but I think that's a little too premature to think that this card's going to really help the deck out in a way that you think, because we don't have a lot of all the support yet, and I don't think it has everything ready for it. It's kind of cute that it can use the dark animal aspect, but I don't think this is the answer. But it did get bought out because of this. So this is being bought out for that reason. Do I think it's a smart buyout? No, because you don't know how the deck is supposed to play. Then we have, on the Europe side, looking like nobody's touching it. It's seen a little bit of bump, but nothing too crazy. It's still got plenty of listings left and right. And that's not terrible. Then we have Draman Alternate Art Dragonic Roar EX03, another buyout that got hyped all crazily because of the Gomamon. Gomamon Super Rare is basically the only thing you're really going to be playing this with. And yes, it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but the deck doesn't become a tier 1 deck because of it. Gomamon's really strong, don't get me wrong. The fact that you guys are buying this out is kind of crazy. There's 9 listings, but people are buying this, and that is showing the trend. And this is just because of the hype behind it. It was very cheap. There's no reason for this thing to be an $8 card yet. It needs to see results before you do this, because like certain decks, you don't want to invest and lose money in, because if you could just wait until this thing was cheap, why spend $7, $8 when the card could be a $2 card? You know, I don't justify once a card is shown off to buy these hype prices, and it's just good to avoid this for now. On the Europe side, looking like €2 to €4, all the way up and more. There's just plenty of listings, no issues. Stops at €18, but definitely you have like €2 range is kind of his cheap price. Can jump up to plenty of copies here from the Gen X gaming store for €3. Not terrible. Then we have Shine Greymon Across Time. Definitely proving that this set is definitely a set that sells. The super rares. $3 is not terrible, but I wouldn't believe this seller. It'll be bought instantly anyway, but then it's back to a $9 card. It's quite expensive. So definitely probably what people can do here is, if they're trying to buy cards for cheap off the Facebook marketplaces, they'll list stuff. Let's see if we can actually buy this. Yep, sellers offline. These are scam players that basically say, I have this, but you know, I'm trying to get these online for cheaper, which means they're going to the Facebook marketplaces going like, well, it's listed for $3. Well, if I can't put it in my cart, it is not worth it to me. So definitely it's a $9 card for sure. So looking like on the Europe side though, €5 to about €15 range. There's plenty of stock in between, but definitely it looks like more in the $6 to $7 range. So definitely keep that in mind when your guys are trying to do trades or values. So then we have Draman Superior Mode Across Time. It's about, looking at it across the board, $9. So it's in the $9 range comfortably. Not terrible at all. So Draman Superior Mode should be, the Hunter's deck should be the next deck to beat in any regional competition. Beelzemon's still strong, but it's definitely toned down just a tad bit. So just keep this in mind when you're facing against this deck. This deck is pretty strong. Europe side looking like €7 to €9 range. Not terrible. like I said, next best deck. Once I hit to Beelzemon, this deck was just gatekeeping and just ready to go. Because the two most powerful decks that this deck had to face against got hit, and that was the Greymon tribal decks and the Beelzemon deck, this deck basically becomes the tier 1 of the format. So just expect that. Kotemon from across time, definitely seeing some jump up as well. Definitely, if you guys are opening packs of this set, the 3 super rares I just showed off, you definitely are going to make some decent profit off of. You know, you got nines, not terrible at all. Then on the Europe side, looking like 6, we have one for €5, basically €4.90, basically €5. Then climbing up all the way up to 15. So most of it looks like it's in the $7 range, €7 range. So definitely looking like Kotemon 7. You have Kotemon Official Tournament Pack Volume 9, Starter Deck 10, Parallel Tacticians. Definitely seeing this card drop, which is good to see. Just Kotemon's just doesn't have anything to stand on for right now, so definitely keep this in mind. Then we have Kotemon Starter Deck 10, looking like on the Europe side, has some decent low ends, you know, for €4, but nothing too crazy. Then it jumps up to €5 to 7 to 30. That's just crazy. There's plenty of stock, but it looks like it's quite expensive. Then you have Kaiser Nail Starter Deck 02. Definitely seeing some jump up because of EX4 that's going to be coming out at the end of the month. Just keep this in mind. We have like 8. So again, one printing kind of just happens with cards like this. As long as there's one printing, expect this card to be expensive. If any of the decks kind of just go off with the Kazuamon and the Blue Flare stuff kind of runs her too with the Kaiser Nail, it can get really nasty pretty quickly. Then on the Europe side, €1 to about €5. Again, older card, harder to get. It jumps up pretty quickly, but most of the stock is in the €2 range, kind of up to 3. Just in that range is most of your bulk of your stock. Then we have X Antibody from X Record. Definitely seeing going down. People aren't really going to play it much anymore. X Antibody decks are not as heavily prevalent anymore. And especially with Ulti Cups now basically restricting your X Antibodies out of the game and a few other components, it just ends up being very interesting to see how this goes. But looking at it now, $3 isn't terrible, but expect it to come down more and more as time goes on, especially since there's now 3 printings of this. You have the regular, the pre-release, and the Ulti. So they're all easy access at the moment, so just keep that in mind. Then on the Europe side, got €1 to €3 range. Not terrible, actually. It can go up to €12, but nobody's going to buy it in there. There's somebody with €9 with 32 stock, but there's at least somebody with 34 stock at €3.50. So if you need most of your bulk here, probably between Sod Games and the Card Buddies are probably your best bet. They have the most decently fair priced bulk. Then we have Emperor Greymon from Next Adventure. Slightly going up. This is probably going to be because of Ulti Cups, and this deck is still really good. There's no reason for this deck not to be one of the top decks of the format. So definitely expect this deck to really do well. Europe side looking like €2, then jumps up to €4 to €12.79. Not bad. You got plenty of stock in the €2 range, and in €3 range, there's plenty of stock there as well. Then Metal Greymon X Antibody from X Record. Definitely probably worth selling this off if you guys have it. X Record stuff usually has some good value in the bulk department, so this rare definitely can make yourself some almost $3 a pop. Or, you know, that's not terrible. Like $2.49 for 3 copies here isn't bad. You know, guys, it's a good deck. It's always going to be relevant. Metal Greymon's always going to see play. So it's going to be swapped between the 2 Metal Greymon X Antibodies depending on the deck and the format. On the Europe side, looking at it, 10 cents, 6 cents, 60 cents, then goes up to €1, €2, and then €10. Definitely on a little bit on the cheaper side than us, but it definitely climbs pretty quickly. If you want to get multi-copies from somebody, you got to pay €1 across the board. So definitely keep that in mind. So the sponsor of this video, guys, not going to lie, is going to be CarTrader. If you guys want $2 free, definitely worth the investment, I think. And you guys can get some decently good cards, especially like the Greymon pre-release for your blue flares, you know. Or if you guys want to sell product overseas, this is how you do it. You get international selling. Really does help out. I think CarTrader is a really good investment, and it's something to keep on the lookout for. I think making your bang for your buck here is what you want to do, and getting that $2 free is going to help you out. And especially if you can just build up a sale cart, get up to $25, and then they'll ship it to you. Not bad. You know, you can get a bunch of cards from different card games as well. Then on the next card we're going to talk about, though, Antibody from Dimensional Phase. It's a $3 card and climbing, boys and girls. And there's no real reason for it. It's just because of the wonky dynamic that the set had, was because we had the campaign rares. We had commons and uncommons basically get foil printing. That all screwed with the rare distributions and normal ratio pulls, and that hurt the set a lot. So there's going to be a lot of this kind of rares climbing up ridiculously. I mean, yes, this has potential, especially with Kotemon being in BT15. So just keep it on your radar. Make sure you have a base playset, and just keep that in mind. On the Europe side, looking like €1 to €5 range. Not terrible. Then we have Lady Debbie. Same things happening here. A little bit of a bump. So we're going to $2, basically $2 to $3 kind of quickly. I count the shipping that adds up to being like that $3 quickly, just because 99 cents if you're just buying one. But usually if you buy multiples and get to the 5, it gets free shipping. So it's not terrible. Let's look. Lady Debbie on the Europe side. €1 to €5 range, kind of same thing with its counterpart. So, like I said, this is a side effect from poor box distributions. Then let's see. Then we have Machine Draman from Classic Collection going down, boys and girls, which is surprising. Which the deck is really solid here. Yes, I know it got a revision pack reprint, which definitely affects the standard art, because it has the correct text on it and it's not foiled. So people have more access to Machine Draman, this Machine Draman, so that deck became a little more budget friendly. So definitely keep this in mind. Machine Draman's really solid. On the Europe side, looking like 10s to all the way up to 20s, and there's plenty more to go. So €10 to €20 range, not terrible. Definitely keep this in mind on your radar. Then we have Blinding Ray from Great Legends, BTO4, definitely shooting up. This is because of the Merva Cross, and because of the, what I would call it, Storm Black War Greymon Pro mode. So it uses this card in the deck to combo off. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Blinding Ray is really solid, and going forwards, it's going to be an expensive card. I don't see this coming down anytime soon. Europe side looking like 2 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents. Plenty of stock. They're not even batting an eye on those team decks. So then we have Hawkman Double Diamond, BTO6, definitely dropping down, but it's still like in a $2 range, which isn't terrible. So definitely keep this on your radar. I mean, if all of a sudden the deck, you know, Jessamon gets back into the format being really super competitive, all it takes is really just for the Sistermons to gain a red/white combo, half and half, and I can honestly tell you that would fix so much issues at the end of the day. So if that ever happens, this deck will go off. Then on the Europe side, looking like 10 cents, 50 cents, €1. Not terrible. Then we have Chaos Degration, Store Participation. I am sorry, on my last Market Watch, I mistakenly said that there is a final championship stamp of all these cards. There is not. It stops at the top 4. So The only one that does have a champion stamp is Seal. So I am sorry about that. CL or Seal. Just keep that in mind. I am so sorry about that. So about 14 to 20. So not terrible. People are buying it. Again, Chaos Degration is just that good of a card. On the Europe side, looking like 14s, 15s. But they are just starting to get the product too. Dark Nymon X Antibody alternate art. Just keep an eye on this card because that deck can do some crazy shenanigans. So I'm just really trying to warn you guys, don't get blindsided once EX4 support drops and the deck kind of gets really solid. So just keep that in mind. Then on the Europe side, we're looking like 10 euros to 8 euros. Not terrible. And then jumps up to 25 ridiculously. But a lot of it is in the 12 euro range and below. Then we have Greymon Gift Box 2022. So I'm expecting this thing to drop more and more as time goes on. Just expect it. I don't see this thing being expensive anymore. The deck is still good. It can OTK you out of nowhere. So just keep that in mind. On the Europe side, let's look at it. 6 euros, 8 euros. It is what it is. Then let's get into Greymon promo. Just to see the original, just see the dip. Just because that's really where the extreme is. It was sitting at $4, and then after the restrictions, boom, it dropped to being dollars. I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes like a 20-cent card. Europe side, €1.40. Still holding actually some value, but I'll give it some time, and I expect it to drop into the cents range as well. Then Metal Greymon Cross Encounter BT10. People are definitely sleeping on this deck. It is one of the tier 1 decks of EX4. Definitely make sure you get your copies if you are planning on playing Blue Flare. I don't want you guys to be blindsided here. On the Europe side, 8 euros to 15 euro range. Not terrible. And then Kotemon from BT5, Tamer Volume Pack 5. Definitely keep an eye on this, especially if Lord Nightmon makes a recurring Jins in the set that is BT14 or even future sets of BT15. Just because of the support that's in there can definitely combo off really well. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Because of the new Patamon and the new Nightmon got revealed, it becomes very, very likely that the way they're designing it is more toolboxy for BT14 and it's not tribal theme. So just keep this in mind. I don't want you guys to be blindsided that you might want to get your Kotemon sooner than later. Europe side, 25 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents to €1. Plenty of stock in the 25 cents. So if you guys need it on the Europe side, definitely grab it at that price. Then Upibon from BT1, How the Mighty Has Fallen. This $14 card now down into the dollar ranges. It's like $2 basically. So definitely keep this in mind. I don't mind it. I love the core and the summer aspect of Upibon. It's pretty cute. Europe side looking like 3 euros, 4 euros. Not terrible. And then basically that's the Market Watch. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And I'll catch you next one. Peace.